I would prefer him to have to lose some weight.
Right. Catchweight is separate.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have full advantage.
Yeah, we don't need. But I mean, at the end of the day, Ryan ain't never win nothing in boxing. He got.
Right.
I would prefer him to have to lose some weight.
Right. Catchweight is separate.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have full advantage.
Yeah, we don't need. But I mean, at the end of the day, Ryan ain't never win nothing in boxing. He got.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, you just heard the voice of Olympic silver medalist, undefeated 3-division world champion, former unified WBC, WBO super featherweight world champion, and now is the reigning WBC lightweight 135-pound world champion, Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson is 21 wins, no loss, no draw, 10 wins by way of knockout. He is 26 years of age, 5'8", with a 68-inch arm reach, and he's a southpaw. With that said, Shakur Stevenson had been going back and forth as of this last week and a half, with former lightweight, now junior welterweight, Mexican-American superstar title contender, King Ryan Garcia, who is now 24 wins, 1 loss, no draws, 20 wins by way of knockout, 25 years of age, 5'10" with a 70-inch arm reach. They have a history. Shakur Stevenson, Ryan Garcia, they fought in the amateurs. Shakur Stevenson, he beat Ryan Garcia in the amateurs, in which Ryan Garcia and his father, trainer, and manager, Henry Garcia, stated that Shakur Stevenson was already touted to win. They thought that they outpointed him, and they thought that they truly should have gotten the nod. They shouldn't have got the victory, but they didn't. Then Shakur Stevenson had his performance November 16th, Las Vegas, Nevada, T-Mobile Arena, and Shakur Stevenson had a lackluster performance against Dominican lightweight star title contender Edwin De Los Santos, which he set the record for landing the lowest amount of punches in a championship fight. He landed 65 punches and 46 which came by way of jab. Okay, Edwin De Los Santos wasn't very active as he landed a total of 40 punches. With that said, Ryan Garcia, he chimed in. He gave his opinions, and he said that was the most boring fight in history, and that the people that paid for their tickets and paid to come see that should be given a refund, okay? And that, Formula One, because it was, surrounding and was promoted around Formula One, F1, and that those fans who weren't aware of boxing that came to the boxing event need to be refunded their tickets. And then Shakur Stevenson responded. They went back and forth, so on and so forth. Shakur Stevenson was called the diva. He stated, Ryan Garcia, that is, he had some choice words for Shakur. Nonetheless, they went back and forth. Ryan Garcia then had his fight this past Saturday, as he took on Mexican star junior welterweight title contender Oscar Duarte, okay, who was a power puncher. And this was Ryan Garcia's ring return after suffering the first loss of his career, April 22nd, Las Vegas, Nevada, T-Mobile Arena, at the hands of Gervonta Tank Davis, where he was dropped in the second round and stopped in the 7th. So they've been going back and forth. Ryan Garcia said that he definitely wants to fight Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson said, after this fight, we can make it happen. Let's do it. Now, Shakur Stevenson, as you heard in the beginning, stated that he would like to have Ryan Garcia lose some weight so he won't have an advantage. And sometimes I think that Shakur Stevenson is too honest for the cameras. Because when you say that, it's going to be used against you constantly. So it's being seen as and viewed as Shakur Stevenson is now ducking Ryan Garcia. Shakur Stevenson wants to have an advantage over Ryan Garcia, just like Gervonta Tank Davis. Gervonta Tank Davis fought Ryan Garcia at a catchweight 136. Ryan Garcia was 2 years and 2 fights removed from fighting at 135 pounds. He agreed and conceded to everything Gervonta Tank Davis wanted, which was the fight to be at a catchweight 136. Then he wanted a 10-pound rehydration clause. And we know Ryan Garcia simply has struggles with his weight. He's in shape, but he's just outgrowing these weight classes. Even this weight where Oscar Duarte was at a catchweight of 143. Okay, so he clearly is struggling to make this weight. or it's lack of discipline. However, some people may choose to view this situation. Nonetheless, Shakur Stevenson said this.
I would prefer him to have to lose some weight.
Right. Catchweight is something.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have full advantage.
Yeah, we don't need, but I mean, and then
so he doesn't have full advantages. Shouts out to Akim Barak. This was Akim Barak sitting down with Shakur Stevenson doing his interview. And Shakur Stevenson, once again, this is what he said.
I would prefer him to have to lose some weight.
Right. Catchweight is something.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have full advantage.
Yeah, we don't need, but I mean, at the end of the day, Ryan ain't never win nothing in boxing. He got.
So he's saying that Ryan never did anything in the sport of boxing, so it really doesn't even matter. Now, I will say this. It's whatever Shakur Stevenson feels comfortable in, because I never really pit the two against each other or picture the two fighting anyway, because Shakur is always a weight class behind what was considered the Four Kings to begin with. The second version of the Four Kings. The original Four Kings was Roberto Duran, Sugar Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns, Marvin Hagler. Now, Roberto Duran jumped from 135 to 147 to fight Sugar Ray Leonard. But that's when the Four Kings era started. This era's Four Kings is Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, Gervonta Tank Davis, and Ryan Garcia. That was the Four Kings of this era. Shakur Stevenson has always been a weight class or two behind them. When they was considered the Four Kings, they were at 135. He was at 126. So he wasn't in that conversation, because the whole point of them being Four Kings is that you can, it's not a fantasy fight because they're all in the same division. That's why it's considered the Four Kings in one division. It's very rare that you have that many talents in one division. They're usually a weight class or a weight class below, a weight class above or a weight class below. But in this case, they're all in the same division. Now, they started to, separate a little. Tank is still at 135. T.O. and Devin is at, T.O., Devin, and Ryan are at 140, right? But Ryan did fight Tank Davis, as I stated, but it was, again, at a catchweight, because those guys are younger than Tank Davis, who's 29, and is smaller at 5'5" with a 67-inch arm reach. He's just a smaller guy. T.O. is 5'8", 5'9", bigger, more stocky frame than Tank. Ryan is 5'10" with a 70-inch arm reach. You can see his frame. And Devin as well is 5'9" with a 72-inch arm reach. They're all of their frame. They're bigger guys than Tank Davis, so he can hold the weight different. Shakur Stevenson himself jumped into this conversation because he moved up from 126 to 130, but then after a few fights at 130, couldn't make the weight anymore. Okay? He had 3 fights at 130, and the last fight he missed weight, and then he jumped up to 135. So he quickly jumped into that conversation. But I will say this. It's whatever Shakur Stevenson wants to do. Again, I never pit the two, imagine the two together as of yet. But as the conversation brewed, I said it's not unrealistic. You see, Tank Davis jumped from 130 to 140. He fought Leo Santa Cruz at 130. He fought, now get this, Tank Davis fought Yuriorkis Gamboa at 135. Went down to 130 to fight Leo Santa Cruz. Then jumped from 130 to 140, 10 pounds, to fight Mario Barrios for the WBA regular title. Then went back down to 135 to fight Isaac Pitbull Cruz, and been at 135 ever since. So it's not out of the realm. Tank went up 5 pounds, came back down 5 pounds. He went up 5 pounds to fight Gamboa, came back down 5 pounds to fight Leo Santa Cruz, then went up 10 pounds to fight Mario Barrios, then came back down 5 pounds to fight Isaac Cruz, and been at 135 ever since. So it's not out the realm to ask Gervonta Tank Davis to do it. Then it's not out the realm to ask Shakur Stevenson to go 140. It's only 5 pounds again. And his frame is bigger than that of Gervonta Tank Davis. He's 5'8", 68-inch arm reach, just a bigger guy than Gervonta Tank Davis. So his frame can carry that 5 pounds north and fight Ryan Garcia, and then come back down 5 pounds and fight Gervonta Tank Davis, right? So to ask for a catchweight to have an unfair advantage is going to always put an asterisk by it. I mean, we've seen the greats in the past do this, Again, I'm not in the business of telling a fighter what he's worth and what he's not worth, what weight he can make and what weight he can't make. Only he knows this. But history has told us that this is possible. We saw Floyd Mayweather do this continuously to make the biggest fights possible. He fought at 147, then he fought Oscar De La Hoya at 154. He came back down to 47 to fought Ricky Hatton. Then he went back up to 54. He fought Miguel Cotto. He came back down to 47. Then he went back up to 54. Well, catchweight at 52, really with no rehydration clause and no catchweights, to fight Canelo Alvarez. Then he came back down to fight Manny Pacquiao. So, and that's a 7-pound jump. That's a 7-pound jump. And Floyd Mayweather's frame is similar to that of Shakur Stevenson. You understand? So it's possible. We've seen this happen before. We've seen Manny Pacquiao go from 147, challenge fighters at 150, catch weights, and then come back down to 47. It can be done. So for Shakur Stevenson, he's already 3 fights in at 135. He fought Yoshino. He fought Edwin De Los Santos. Well, he's 2 fights in at 135, right? So he's 2 fights in at 135. But he missed weight his last fight at 130. So essentially, he's somewhere in between fighting at 135. So it's not out the realm to go to 140. Dare to be great, challenge Ryan Garcia, fight Ryan Garcia, beat Ryan Garcia. That's the biggest, most marquee fight of your career. It's the biggest, most lucrative fight of your career. Then you could come back down to 135. Because skills pay the bills. Floyd Mayweather, and you don't have to gain an enormous amount of weight. You gain the 5 pounds to be able to make weight, and your skills will pay the bills from there on. Floyd Mayweather didn't have a rehydration clause on Miguel Cotto. He didn't have a rehydration clause on Canelo Alvarez. He didn't have a rehydration clause on Oscar De La Hoya. Because his skills paid the bills. Canelo Alvarez outweighed Floyd Mayweather by 18 pounds the night of the fight. It's about the skill set. It's the skill set. But can I say Shakur Stevenson is ducking? No. It's his prerogative. He don't feel like if he's comfortable to make the weight, then the fight goes by the wayside. Because we already know Ryan ain't fighting at no catch weight. And to ask him for a catch weight is unrealistic. Period. But let's see what's next. Let's see how it unfolds. Let's see how it plays out. I think this would be a great fight for Shakur Stevenson to erase the last fight that he had, the last stain, that lackluster performance. Fight Ryan Garcia to catch at 140, beat Ryan Garcia, and then come back down. That would speak volumes. It would speak volumes, and it would elevate his stock. But that's just my opinion. And that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. So all I got for y'all. I'm gone. Peace.